Every time we beam in, it's a different trip. Let me tell
telling you.
Oh my God, that was a rough ride.
Oh, and it was so cold.
And we landed here in a studio rocket ship type setting. And
All set up for us, table, flowers, everything.
oh, I'm telling you. But it's still rough, no matter how
Definitely
you
a rough
slice
ride.
it. So I just my name is Pat Brady, and I want to welcome everybody to the special edition of God's Way, U.F.O. investigation. And I have a co-host also, Dave DeLise.
Hello, everybody.
And this is live. It's a live call-in show. And we're going to be touching upon a number of topics.
Yes.
A number of topics.
Quite a few about the conspiracies and everything else that goes on in this world.
Okay, but before we even start, I just want to let the audience know about background. What kind of background do you have, Dave?
I'm a paranormal investigator.
And what does that mean? So in case people do not know.
I investigate different types of situations that go on, hauntings, orbs, and things like that. But basically, I look for the evidence to try to find and show people that they do exist.
Okay, now an orb, just in case people don't know what an orb is.
Well, an orb is a bright light that forms in many different colors and shapes, and you also get to see faces in them occasionally. But it's not a credible thing as far as scientifically, so it's pretty much up to the person to either believe it or not.
So what you're saying is there's no concrete evidence that supports.
That's correct.
So it's a perception of maybe a spiritual
I
thing?
truly believe it is, because I've been doing experiments with them for the last 15 months, and I've gone through all the seasons, and I feel they come out much more in the wintertime. I think it has to do something with the electrical stuff in the air.
Okay, that's possible.
Yeah, but I have experienced over like 50 different colored orbs, and you try to learn about them, but there's no scientific grounds where you can.
Okay, do you hear them or do you just feel them?
No, I see them with the naked eye because I also am a medium, so I do see them as well. There's times I don't see them, but I guess when they really want to get my attention, they'll show themselves to me.
Okay, I did see some orbs. I was, many years back, maybe about 10 years ago, I was in a place called Marfa, Texas. And there's a big site on the internet called the Marfa Lights. And what that is it's a certain area right outside of the city of Marfa. And people come from all over and look across where all the tumbleweeds are.
Right.
And there's a big, like electrical type of beam to show a beacon, to show that in case a plane is coming overhead.
Right, right, right.
So you're looking out and you see it, it's small. But every night, unless it's raining, even people told me when it was raining, the sun goes down, everybody piles into their trucks and cars and actually takes out the lounge chairs and they wait for the Marfa lights. So I was there many years ago, and I'm saying, oh, gee, I've interviewed people, all different types of experiences. Now it's my turn. I want to see the Marfa lights.
Right.
So it's 9-ish. Around 9 o'clock, the sun is starting to go down. People start piling in. They got kegs of beer. They got the lounge chairs. And all of a sudden, the lights come up right next to that beacon. It could be 1, it could be 3, it could be 4 on one side, different colors.
Wow.
A truck driver, a woman truck driver, said she takes her fruits from one town to another. She had one right next to her for many miles. So I filmed this, and of course it was far away. I didn't see anything, did not see anything.
It wasn't blinking or anything?
Well, it was so far away that in the camera it was small.
Oh, okay.
But when I returned home, they were there. The lights were there.
Awesome.
So they do exist. It's a phenomenon where scientists have not been able to get the evidence scientifically.
Right.
National Geographic has done shows about the Marfa lights, but they're those orbs. They come in and then they blink out.
It's amazing to see them. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of them, especially now where I'm doing my documentary, and they all show themselves to me. I mean, if I'm not there 1 or 2 days, they get very upset. And when I do show up, hundreds come out.
Now, do they ever give the feeling of spirituality in this?
Yes, they do. You can, you know, it's so hard to tell if you're not used to it, but yes, I can feel children at times. I could feel adults, children who need help. They'll ask for help. So what I try to do is I tell them to go to God's light, and that's where they are resurrected and brought up to where they need to go.
Now, do you tell them this in your mind, or you say, look, you have to go this way for peace, or how do you do it?
I actually talk to them because they're human beings that people don't realize. But I talk to them as I'm talking to you, and I'm sure if somebody went by in the street, they'd call Creedmoor and have me locked up. Because I'm constantly talking to them in a conversational manner.
Yeah.
So I don't lie to them. I tell them what I'm there for and what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds incredible. Okay, we're getting some UFO signals that
Okay,
way,
let's
so-
go. Let's get some UFO cooking.
Okay. Now, this is a live call-in show, so if people have experiences, I want everybody to call up. We'll be putting the phone up in a little bit. We do have a few pictures of that randomly we'll be putting up, and then Dave can explain it, or I can chip in a little
Right.
bit also. So, David, if you want to put a picture in, we'll go with the picture.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll take it from there.
Okay, as they're setting it.
Yeah, setting everything up.
Yeah, it'll be a second. But we will get into Roswell a little bit.
Yes, definitely. Roswell, there was so much conspiracy with that. It was amazing, and I can understand why the people would never believe anything the government has to say.
Well, there have been interviews. I've interviewed people at the U.F.O. Roswell Museum,
Yep.
and they actually, you know, talk about their experience.
Right.
We have a picture up, and what is this picture?
This is Area 51. This is one of the most, I don't even know what to call it. There's such conspiracy going on there. I do understand that you need a facility to do your secret testings and things like that. But so many people have seen other than planes. From what I understand, you know, Area 51 has always been a hush-hush thing, and Bob Lazar, who was actually a worker there, who was discredited saying that he wasn't a worker, which he was, who worked on the UFOs inside the hangars. So, I mean, why is the man going to lie about that? I mean, to get publicity, there's no reason to.
Well, they want it like Project Blue Book. They want it toned down. They don't want to alert the public because panic may set in. So that place is definitely off ground,
Right.
and there's another aerial shot.
Right, yes. This is the aerial shot where you can see Groom Lake, which is another part of Area 51, where they do have test facilities as well in Groom Lake of UFOs. And there truly are extraterrestrial beings that are in this facility.
Now you have to remember also there's a lot of aircraft flying by.
Absolutely.
Could be mistaken.
I agree.
So, you know, sometimes the stories are right on target. Sometimes you get people that you don't know.
Oh, I'm not saying there's not kooks out there. I'm sure there's a lot of kooks out there that will see things that they want to see because they want to see it. But there's no way in the world that, me personally, you'd have to be crazy not to think that there wasn't anybody else in this world when they keep finding more and more planets every day of the week. So I truly believe there's so much more to this. And why the government's covering up is beyond me, because people know. They're not stupid. So you know what? Just let the cat out of the bag and just tell people what's going on.
They're not going to do it. They won't do it.
I understand, but you know, sometimes that's where the argument in question is. You know, there are people that will do it.
Okay, what's this picture here?
This picture is of an airline that runs out of Vegas that is strictly for the workers at Area 51.
Okay.
This plane takes them and brings them back every day.
Where are they from? Where's the home base and then they bring them to Vegas.
Then they bring them straight over to Area 51 from Vegas.
So this would be government people?
Yes, but they will deny it 100% that it has anything to do with the government.
And also the grounds near Area 51, fences all over, guards, they'll shoot you, they say go back.
Right.
So, you know, it's kind of off limits.
Well, there's a lot of death. They have like death threats. You'll be killed if you enter. But there are tons of people who have definitely snuck through there and gotten to see really cool activity.
Well, if you know the area, the mountain area, they go around, they don't go on the highway, the little highway going
Right.
in. There are reports they're on top of the mountains, they have the binoculars, they have their cameras.
I was there. I actually went, and you're only allowed to the mailbox. That's what they call the area, the mailbox.
Oh.
So that's as far as you can really go. But you have guys like the TV guys, like the UFO hunters, Bill Burns and his team, and all these people have done this and gone there and were stopped right in their tracks to get there. But they know what's really going on because all these people have seen things before.
So it's still, here's another picture that's a mystery there at
Yeah,
Area
this
51.
picture was taken in California where you actually do see the ship and an alien being who was outside of the ship.
Oh,
So-
so that little oval, upright oval, there's a
Right.
little,
And that's a submergible UFO because that's right by the water because that, I believe, is the beach area.
oh yeah, you see the little,
And you see the actual alien walking on the beach.
is this a movie or just one
No,
shot?
this is one shot. Somebody got a photo of it. I got it from the computer, and it's a fascinating shot. You know, it's up to the audience to believe if it's true or not, but from what I've seen in it, it looks legit.
Well, many people on Staten Island have actually called me and spoke to me, and I've done the UFO Phenomena, We Are Not Alone show for many years. Staten Islanders do see things.
Absolutely.
And if anybody out there is watching and you want to talk about it, any sightings, please give us a call and give us your experiences. I know near the water. I know near the VZ, Verrazano.
Right.
Near the highway. There are people all the time, and they call me.
Right.
So this is the time for everyone. If you have an experience, please.
Yeah,
we're on
call
Staten
in,
Island.
let us know. Because actually this time in July last year, I was out in Long Island and I witnessed a UFO out there, which was an orange-shaped like sphere.
Ah.
When I put it up on my Facebook page, over 900 people responded to me from Staten Island saying that they seen the same sphere. And later on, we'll have some photos of that I've taken through my iPad and a short little video clip of the UFO going back and forth.
Okay. Well, if they have a picture or that little video, whenever you're ready for it, unless somebody calls up. We
right.
don't know. We take the callers first. But there are a lot of experiences. People, the first show that Frank Dudley and I had done, we had somebody that was on the ferry boat. And the people on the ferry boat were looking at an underwater experience of a city.
Submergible.
Yes. So her name was Sylvia,
Right.
Sylvia Mock, and she spoke about that. After she spoke about it, somebody calls up. And the person said, I was on that same ferry.
Oh, so they got to see it as well.
Oh, it was incredible. So, again, it's a similar story, but, you know, you can't,
Right.
there's no evidence there because it happened such a while ago.
And the submerged objects are really reported all over the world, but more famously in Puerto Rico.
We're going to get to
Yeah,
that one, too. Okay, we do have a caller. So,
Okay.
caller, you're live. No? Okay,
No?
we lost the
We lost the
okay,
call?
It's okay.
Okay.
Puerto Rico, you want to speak a little bit about Puerto Rico?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of videos of submerged UFOs coming out of the water, and which is great. And a photo just flashed of Barney and Betty.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so we could swing over
Yeah.
because the picture's up there.
Right, which was an odd case to begin with.
Yes.
I think the most fascinating part about this case to me was when they both woke up in the morning and had the same dream, but yet the man had scuff marks on his feet from being dragged. So is a man going to just come out of nowhere and make that up? Like, look at that guy. His face looks like a lawyer. I mean, what would be his gain of making up a story like that?
Two humble people, you
Right.
know,
Down
ordinary
south,
people.
you know.
So, but they did see something,
Right.
and it was documented. But again, once you don't have that proof, it gets sort
Right.
of pushed aside.
Well, I think she did get proof. I thought they gave her something, and she brought back some type of a book, if I remember correctly from the story.
Okay.
I
don't
think
remember.
I think that's what basically happened.
Okay, and who's this person?
This is Bill Burns from UFO Hunters, who's
Oh, yeah.
also he's the editor and chief of UFO magazine, who is a phenomenal person. I met Bill a long time ago. He's a brilliant man.
Yeah, at these conventions also, you have people that are editors of UFO magazines, and then you also have the debunkers.
Right.
And the debunkers, I mean, the argument goes back and forth. The people who believe, people who do not believe, and then crazy people in the audience.
Right.
It's all types. Everything goes at a convention. Frank Dudley and I had gone to many of them, and the big heavy hitters, Nick
Right.
Pope, Peter Robbins, Randall Shim Forrest, Bud Hopkins was on the show over 10 years ago.
Wow, that's awesome.
We even had an alien on the show.
Who'd you have?
It was somebody that had to, we had to block his identity. We talked about alien implants. And as far as being credible, the psychiatrist was here on the stage. So the person that was actually believed he had an implant, it was all credible.
Oh, that's great.
So that was Jed Turnbull.
Oh, very nice.
So,
Yeah, I've seen a lot of yeah.
well, this picture here, this is myself and Bud Hopkins. This was at his loft.
Right.
God, over 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago, 13, I don't know, I can't even remember, 1999, 2000. We were at a party. He used to throw parties, and he would put some of his artistry up for auction, or you would pay a certain amount, and then they would actually pick, you know, a number, and you can pick something on the wall. So one year I was there, and this photo right below us, it's kind of light, but you know, he spoke about the ships and being abducted. Big photos, little photos. Every photo had a story about alien. An incredible artist. He did sculptures, and again, he started along with Nick Pope, who has that UFO book that they'll be going to later. But that's Bud Hopkins' photo.
Right.
His little sketch. He used to do little etchings. And let's see, Nick Pope came along.
Right.
And then you had the Intruders Foundation. So we'll come back to that, but we do have a caller. Caller, you're live.
Hello.
We can't hear you. Can't hear the caller.
Hello?
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Lost? No. We just have to wait a second.
Hello?
We have a new system.
Yes. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, great. I'm on TV. That's cool. Yeah, what's going on with the airplane crash? Did they find the debris?
Not that we're aware of right now. I haven't seen anything on the news about them finding the debris yet. But, you know, anybody can come to a conclusion on why it disappeared. You know, it could be many reasons. It could have been a military thing that happened. You know, who knows? It could have been like a Bermuda Triangle type of situation.
Yeah, because they can't find the
Right,
debris.
because we can't find anything.
So we're talking
So-
about...
I don't believe it. I mean, like, come on. I figured they would have found the debris. It's been like 2 days, and last time this happened, it was 2 days. So I thought they would find it, but I guess they didn't.
No, there was nothing was said on the news or anything else that they found the black box or any pieces of debris. So that could have
That's
just
surprising, yeah.
disappeared out of nowhere. I
Well,
mean,
the most likely answer is that they're going to find it, but it just seems strange, for the next 24 hours, 48 hours, if they don't find it, because obviously it's interesting, right?
well, it's a possibility. Like I said, anything is possible. They may find it, they may not. I mean, look how long it took them to find JFK Jr.'s flight when he crashed. So anything is a
How
possibility.
long was that?
That was like 3-4 days before they found that.
Oh,
But it was a
wow.
little
Well, but
plane.
this is a fucking big ass plane. This is a plane.
No bad words.
You're on television, my
Okay,
friend.
I think they cut him.
Okay.
Now, what were we talking about? What's the flight?
The Thailand flight from Vietnamese, right? Vietnam. There was a flight that was going through that disappeared.
Okay.
So, anything it's possible. It could have been a military exercise and they're trying to cover it up. Everything is conspiracy and cover up when it comes to that.
So the possibilities are there. Didn't find the plane yet, the big plane. It was a jumbo.
Right.
So, but, sometimes if the water's rough, the thing could sink. You don't know. They
Right.
get lost.
But they do have the beacons to locate it. I don't know how deep in the water you have to go for it not to work. But usually they're pretty good. They find them, but they
So
don't even
far.
have a home and they don't have a beacon or anything. So who knows what happened?
Okay, another mystery. Unsolved.
Unsolved mystery, yes.
Okay, no evidence, nothing.
None.
So here's another picture, and what's this one?
This is a design that Bob Lazar put together of his visual contacts working inside Area 51. So this is what he was showing, like in the drawing of the type of ship that he was working on. I'm sure he's worked on a lot of things in there that nobody will ever know about. But sometimes when people work like this, they want to get it off their chest because they want to know.
But what is this? Is this like a little flying saucer with a little alien person there?
Well, I'm sure he's seen the bodies there as well because they're all there. But yes, this is definitely his sketch of what it would be, or as they were rebuilding the ship that crashed, maybe this is the way it was supposed to be.
Okay, another possibility.
Yeah, everything is...
Again, the evidence. It's the evidence. All right, so we'll get a little bit into the Roswell incident. Roswell is in New Mexico, and if you're ever out near there, you can stop in. There's a museum. I had gotten the shirt here.
I was
U.F.O. And the time to go is basically the first week of July, because that's when the craft or whatever it was
Right.
found. So every year, especially when 5, 10, 15, now it's over 50 years.
Right.
Every 5 years, they have the big celebrations.
Right, I went to the 50th anniversary one, which was awesome, and I got to meet Jesse Marcel Jr.,
Oh, nice.
which was he was very old then.
Yeah.
But, meeting a man who supposedly seen the first writings from another planet, was just amazing that this man held this debris in his hands. His father brought it home and showed the family.
Yeah.
The thing that kills me about that whole thing is how can you, discredit a major in the Army and, in the Air Force, doing his thing, riding, flying planes, looking at weather balloons, and put him in the spot and set him up like that.
Well, if he didn't do it, he would have been discharged. I mean,
Right.
they forced him to do that.
Or killed, because I heard a lot of stories. People who did see the wreckage were buried in the desert, and they never found them again. Just like, if I may say, the mortician's girlfriend. The mortician's girlfriend was the nurse at the base hospital. She seen the bodies. 2 weeks later, he gets a call saying that his girlfriend died in a plane crash. Now, how obvious is that? She was
suspicious.
definitely buried in the desert. They got rid of her. She's seen way too much for that to slide by like that. But they killed her, basically killed her.
It's another mystery. But, that funeral parlor is still there. And those little caskets were only about 4 feet long.
Yeah,
And they have replicas at the U.F.O. museum.
right, I was there, it's nice.
It's a beautiful, incredible place. They show a lot of the Air Force people. There's a library there, which it's incredible. They have all the stories in
Right.
these, and also there's about 4 UFO stories that Frank and I did that I brought over, because you can look at some tapes.
Right.
Maybe they transferred them on the DVD,
Right.
but you know they're there.
Right.
All the newspaper articles, and you know, some of the heavy hitters.
Right.
So Roswell continues. People don't believe, but look, a mayor will come out. I met George Takei
So
one
did I
year.
at the 50th, yeah.
He's there all the time. I asked him if he believed in UFOs or if he saw any. Well, he was a little bit like this.
Right.
You know, with Star Trek, you always see the different aliens on Star
Right.
Trek. But he was a good person to interview. And, you know, minutes went by, and then I grabbed the mayor, an ordinary person.
Right.
And I asked him, did you ever see a UFO? And first of all, he said no. But then he said, wait a minute, I did see one over where the high school is in Roswell.
Right.
And then he spoke about his story about it. Now, Demi Moore is from Roswell.
Right.
I don't know about her. I didn't see her there.
Right.
But they were opening up the alien gift shops there, and the mayor and George Takei were there cutting the
Right.
ribbon.
No, that's great. I mean, when I was there, I got to speak to the sheriff's daughter at the time.
Oh, yeah.
Who
Okay.
the sheriff was no longer there, but she was telling me the stories of what the father had told her. And like I said, the Holy Grail was actually speaking to Marcel Jr. You know, that was the man who had it in his hands. You know, I mean, I tell you the honest truth, I wouldn't care what anybody had to say. I would believe that guy over anybody. So, I mean, he definitely had that in his hands.
Well, the thing is, it's the proof.
Yeah.
You know, it's the proof. So nothing goes forward unless you really have some kind of evidence. We can jump around a little bit. We were talking to, who's
Bob
this
Lazar,
person?
that's Bob
Yes.
Lazar.
And he wrote some books, or?
Well, no, he came out and actually, you know, broke it wide open about Area 51.
Oh, the Area 51.
And then, you know, he was definitely like discredited from so many people. I don't remember what Stanton Friedman had to say about it, but he's a very fair person, so I could pretty much say he's seen so much in his life as well. So, you know, I mean, he knows more than probably half of the people in the government about what goes on.
Well, Stanton Friedman, also a person that has zeroed in on, I forgot, Reticuli is one of the constellations out there where the stars are, and his theory is that the aliens could be coming in from that area.
Right.
I mean, that's his take on it. He has written a lot of books. I met him a few times. I met him at Bud Hopkins' house one time. He's credible. That's
Very
the bottom
credible.
line. He's credible. So even if the evidence isn't there,
He knows.
he knows what the story is.
I mean, he's probably looked through the Project Blue books and all of that stuff.
oh, he
He's-
analyzed everything.
Yeah, he's seen it all. And that was like that man, Colonel Philip Corso.
Yes.
This guy probably seen so much, and he investigated the Roswell as well from 1961 to 1963 under the Majestic 12 rule.
Okay.
So that's what he did, but trust me when I tell you, I seen him in his 80s when he had an interview, and he was telling everybody about what he had seen and what he came across. You know, I find it hard to believe that the guy would lie about that. It just, you know, I mean, that's just me personally. I just don't think that, you know.
Well,
was
it's
a lie.
it's the evidence.
Right.
It's always the evidence. Do we have another picture? I know we scanned through
Yeah,
two
a couple
pictures.
of pictures, yeah.
What's this one here?
What is that?
I don't know.
I don't know. That
It
came from
looks like
somewhere
some
else.
hands reaching up into the sky. Looks spiritual, that's for
Yes,
sure.
that's definitely you know,
yin
that's
yang.
yin yang. That's
The
from the symbols for God's way
and infinity.
and
that
infinity.
means.
Right.
So things keep going.
Well, the universe.
Yes.
It's a yin yang. You know.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty much it. You know, it's like they got to go for the other pictures because these aren't the right ones.
Okay, so we'll go off this. I mean, we are talking a little bit spiritual,
Right,
but,
of course, yes, yes.
but we want to get more,
of the UFO stuff going on.
yes,
Well,
UFO.
Well, I'll tell you the honest truth. What happened to me back in 1989, a friend of mine took me out to Connecticut.
Okay, so we'll get back to
okay.
that, but there's
This is the
an alien.
drawing that Glenn Dennis's girlfriend drew for him in the bar the night they met for a drink, the night of the crash.
So was this before the drink or after? Or
This
we don't
was
know.
before the drink.
Okay.
And once she showed it to him, she was so shooken up that she literally burnt it in the ashtray so nobody would know that she did it.
But so how'd they get those
Well,
photos?
he remembered
Oh, I
from
see.
this is Dennis. This is his sketch of what she drew.
Okay, what he saw. From his
Right.
friend. And you can notice that the hands are very long or very short.
Right.
The skull is enlarged, deep eyes, 2 nostrils, maybe a little mouth.
Yeah,
that
like a
type
slit.
of
It looks like, right?
So if you do go to the U.F.O. museum, you see a lot of this.
Right.
And also this picture here is in the U.F.O. museum.
To me, this is a joke.
Why?
I mean,
Why do you say that?
This to me is definitely not an alien. This, I think, was just a hoax, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think this was any extraterrestrial person whatsoever. Yeah, this was a good joke to me. I mean, I think this is totally off the wall.
Well, you have different views, and actually it's like an artist
Right.
doing a recreation or a rendition of something.
Right, that's like Stan Winston doing like Terminator or something like that, building those, machines. And this to me, I laugh at it, it's a joke. It really is. When I watch that on television,
But it's a draw. People go to that and
well, because they
look.
want to believe, they want to see evidence. People are tired of being lied to. You know what? Throw it on the table. People aren't stupid, and that's what the government's been doing to us for 200 years. Now remember, the founding fathers, from Benjamin Franklin seen UFOs, Thomas Jefferson seen UFOs. They've all witnessed UFOs to the present time between Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, Truman. They all seen UFOs, all of them.
Okay, and it even goes back thousands of years
Right.
because the paintings on the wall.
The Muriel's Mother
Absolutely.
Mary in the corner of the picture's a UFO.
Very spiritual, and there's
Very.
a UFO or something unidentified.
Right.
So always there's a spiritual side to it.
Right.
So we want, that's what the impression that if people want to believe it, that's it. What's this picture?
Okay, this was the actual photo that was taken with Ramey, and I think his name is DeBose. And this was the phony weather balloon that they put on the floor so that Jesse Marcel, because this was a setup where they made him go in front of the news and say this was a weather balloon that
Yes,
crashed.
yeah.
Now, like I said before, now this is Jesse Marcel's son.
Oh, wow. Gee.
So, like I said, there's no way in the world a major who flew planes, who's seen weather balloons being sent up every day of the week, 10 times a day, tell me that he did not find that debris. I mean, like you said, evidence is evidence. And if we're looking for the evidence, we'd have to go to Wright Air Force Base, Patterson Air Force Base, because that's where it all went.
Okay. Well, how about these pictures
All right,
here?
these pictures right here are from the Phoenix Lights.
Phoenix Lights, okay. That was a famous case because many people had the cameras going, different angles,
Right.
disappearing. There was no way that people who saw this and believed that it was
Extraterrestrial?
yeah, or something unidentified.
Right.
Okay, but again, that sort of got dismissed. It was all over the news. It was all over.
Everybody's seen it. The governor seen it. The mayor seen it. The thing was, this was like the best photo of it when they started lighting up one at a time.
Yes.
My favorite thing was when the government said they were Chinese lanterns.
Lanterns.
I'm like, I don't know what they were smoking that night, but there was no Chinese lanterns that were going up in the air. This is physical UFO knowledge right here. This is a ship that's probably the size of Giant Stadium and then some, going all around. You could just tell that those aren't helicopters. Helicopters cannot stay up that long. I mean, they were there for hours.
And if it was a Chinese lantern in a helicopter, I mean, they'd be blown all over the place.
Absolutely. Now, this is a couple of shots I took of the UFO that I seen in Connecticut.
Oh,
Now, this thing was probably the size of Yankee Stadium at the time,
okay.
and I would say certain parts of the ship broke off as spheres. So you got a red one, a green one, a blue one,
Oh, yeah.
and then you had a white one.
Yes.
And as they all disappeared, they started forming back into that triangular shape and then kept going. And the reason why we were up there is because one of my favorite authors and who did the communion was Whitley Schreiber. This man has, from his books, been so-called abducted since he's 5, 6 years old. Now, his home was not too far from this area in Connecticut where we took these photos. Now, if you see it, now you see how it's starting to fly off?
Yes, yeah.
But it all shaped out and came back. See, that's when it started breaking apart.
I see. It's
And-
almost like a scene from Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Well, that's another thing that was a story to talk about.
All right,
But
and this is another picture?
This was another, yeah, I put up about nine photos of it and the area actually where it was taken.
All right.
So,
Did it move, though? It was moving?
At first, it was
hover-
very steady.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it was like moving like very slowly, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, just started coming apart.
Did it make noise?
No noise whatsoever.
Okay.
None.
Some people do hear noises, some
Right.
people see colors, whatever. Okay, what's this photo?
This is an actual shot of the White House where we have our friends flying right by them. So, you know, the government can cover up whatever they want to cover up. You cannot dismiss that photo and tell me those were planes that were flying by the White House. Those are UFOs.
Do you think the ones on the top, way up on the top on the left and then to the right, do you think that's a UFO also? Or an orb? Or what do you-
I think they were all UFOs. They didn't have enough time to get their planes and everything up there before they disappeared.
And when was this
This was in the
around?
early 80s, I believe it was. Late 70s to early 80s.
Okay.
But this was a confirmation shot that was given to the news.
Yeah,
And like you said, as always, it's always discredited all the time.
unless you have the proof,
Well,
the evidence.
to me, that's proof. I mean, you can't, you know, I mean, to me, I mean, because, you know, maybe because I want it to be, but to me, I mean, that's a photo. It's showing you right there. You know, and that would be pretty hard at that time at night to start making model planes fly around without having a crowd of people around you.
Okay. Well, I agree with that. Do we have a few more pictures? And remember, this is live call-in. Hopefully you can see the number. But no more pictures? Okay,
We're done?
So-
Okay, with the pictures?
that's fine.
Good.
All right. We can talk about Puerto Rico. Let's talk about Puerto Rico. What's in Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico, there was tons of submerged objects coming out of the sky.
Okay, we're going to stop for a second.
Go.
We have the caller. So
All right.
caller, you're live. You're live, caller.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Yes, who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to.
Hello?
Hello. You're live. Ask a
Yes,
question.
hello. Okay, yeah, no, there was just a couple of questions I wanted to ask you about, yes, about the Vatican, about the Temple of the Mount. There was something that shot down to the Temple of the Mount and then shot straight back up.
Okay, when was this incident? When was the incident?
I don't know, it was maybe like a year ago. If you Google it, you go to YouTube, it was like a flash of light directly down to the Temple of the Mount, shot right back up in the same direction.
Well, to be very honest with you, I'm definitely going to YouTube it, but the Vatican has a lot to do with a lot of the extraterrestrial stuff that goes on in this world. They're very well aware of it. They know what's going on, and they have probably a better scientific lab than the government to check out all this stuff. But I'm with you on that. There was definitely something probably that happened over there.
Okay.
That was pretty strange. You know, I appreciate it. I just wanted to ask you that question.
Yeah, no, please, man, ask away. But you're probably right on that because, like I said, the Vatican does know a lot more than it turns out to share with people.
I thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I just want to also say that people in Europe, people South America, Puerto Rico, they believe in it a little bit more than the United States. So they have a different take on it. Somebody sees something, they take it a little bit more serious. So let's go on with Puerto Rico.
Well, that's the whole thing, like you just said, Pat. They've seen more than we have. Now, remember, all the, like the Spanish countries, Peru, and let me tell you, it goes back from the Mayan temples all the way to the end of history, from the beginning. You know, they've just been around forever, UFOs. I mean, alien technology. There's a lot of things that were done that had to be done by extraterrestrials, because human beings couldn't have possibly did this themselves. They didn't have the technology then, they didn't have the tools. I'm not saying that they didn't have the brains to build a pyramid. Of course they did, to lift it up. You know, that's a lot of manpower to lift up 750,000 ton rock.
The tonnage is,
You
it's
know?
incredible. And then where did it come from? So another mystery, there are no marks on the ground. So,
And the precision is perfect. Like I went to Peru, I went to the Nazca Lines.
okay.
I went in a helicopter view with Eric Van Daniken. I was working on the set of Ancient Aliens.
Oh, how nice.
Now we're in a helicopter.
Yeah.
Now this man to me is a genius. All the guys on Ancient Aliens, Giorgio, David Child, they're all geniuses. Their theories are so far correct, it's not funny. But who built those? Who made those lines? And why can you only see it from the sky and not on the ground? Now the mountain that was right behind it was literally cut in half with no debris on either side of the mountain to make a landing path for UFOs.
And this isn't Machu Picchu, is it? That area. Okay, another phenomena. It's in the books. It's there. A lot of astronomy there. The solstice, that people believe in the solstice.
Right.
A city that's gone, ancient ruins, but can you imagine when it was alive?
Yeah.
You know, and what was actually happening there? We don't know.
No, we'll never know.
We
that's
don't know.
for sure.
We just know that it was there.
Right. I mean, it's like even in Egypt, you look at the sphinxes, half person, half animal. It could be possible that, you know, alien technology might have switched DNA to test things on people, or to, you know, anything is a possibility. I won't say it did happen, but why would the artist who drew it not draw it to its correct precision and, you know, make a story up? It just doesn't, you know, it just doesn't catch me actually that way. If you're drawing something, if I look at you and see you, I'm going to draw you on the wall.
Well, look, you have to remember at the time there were kings, queens, and
Right.
astrologers. Astrologers followed the stars, the constellations.
Right.
The Sphinx is a constellation in the stars,
Right.
in the heavens. So again, the cat is very spiritual. The cat represents the underworld, the hidden, and the powerful. So that Sphinx, that replica, was a power sign.
Right.
Again, we have a glimpse of it, but can you imagine back then what it was like?
That must have been awesome.
I don't know. I can't even picture it. But we have it.
Yes.
We have it, and all the angles are in there. You've got Sirius, the dog star. Okay, that's up in the heavens, and that made angles to the pyramids.
Orion's belt was off the 3 in Giza.
Yes.
The 3 pyramids in Giza all matched Orion's belt. So there was reasons why they built them with that precision at that exact star, or there had to be some kind of, like you said, astronomy going on with that, so they maybe can tell time. You know, because remember, pyramids are not 3-sided, they're 4.
That's right.
You know, so
Yes.
who knows if that 4th sided that's not visually seen has something to do with extraterrestrial. You know, we'll never know. Let's put it that way. It's never gonna come out. But it's just the theories, what scientists and people like you and I can talk with the people at home about and get their ideas and their theories on things, because you want to hear people's ideas of what they believe in and what they think.
Well, Mexico, Chichen Itza.
Beautiful.
Okay, they have an observatory. I've been there a few times. They have those pyramids, and actually, the pyramid inside is hollow. And if you do go, the tour people tell everyone to start clapping. The clapping noise goes inside the pyramid, and the albatross noise comes up.
Awesome.
And that's their bird in Mexico.
Wow.
So a lot of history. I've been there. I've been to a few of them. The ruins are there. You know, a lot of spiritual, a lot of things going on with the shamans.
Right.
You know, beheaded people, apocalypto.
With the hearts out, feet, yeah.
I mean, that movie by Mel Gibson, it's a little raw.
It was a good movie, though.
I love that
It was
movie.
great. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I mean, he made it to the point of what really happened then, or what he thought might have happened back then. He can only go by other people's writings to, you know, read up on it. So, you know, it's just like The Passion of Christ, you know what I'm saying? His other
Yeah,
movie.
yes.
Which is spiritual to a point, but you have to believe what you
Your own
believe. I
perception,
mean,
yeah.
me personally about the Bible, it's been rewritten so many times. Nobody will ever know what the true meaning of the Bible is, because it's all been mad, rewritten. So you're not going to know the truth. You never will. If there really was a God, if there wasn't, if the terrestrial beings are the higher gods that just put him here to babysit the earth, nobody knows.
And in theory, if an alien or flying saucers or ships come over to us, that means they could be a little bit ahead of us, time-wise, technological.
Right.
You know, they come over, they got the equipment. We didn't get there yet. Someday we may. There will be new space telescopes like the James Webb Space Telescope.
Right.
That'll be coming out. Looking through, peering through dark matter, peering through the clouds and also planets, looking for exoplanets, planets in other solar systems.
Which would be awesome if we could find that.
It's coming out. We're in the infant stages, astronomers, but it's getting there.
Well, like you said, the technology of today, compare it to the 50s, the 40s and 50s. I can almost guarantee you, I know our scientists are smart, but if you look at the scientists that are building this stuff today, I think we were given a lot of this technology from aliens or extraterrestrials, because it's just way too far advanced, like cell phones, texting. You know, just 20 years ago, you had to go in a phone booth.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it just definitely has upgraded immensely in the past 20 years.
Well, you know, it's moving forward fast.
Right. I mean, you've seen the movie Blade Runner, right?
Yes.
With
I did.
Harrison Ford?
Yes.
I mean, let me tell you, Ridley Scott was way beyond himself in that film. I mean, it was just an amazing film and a classic. But to see the cars hover up.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that was, what, 25 years ago? 30 years ago? And look what's happening today, comparison to that.
It's coming true.
Right, so it's all going to come to us little by little. I think if we trade off a couple of more people like they did in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which I truly believe was a real incident that happened at some point, that we did get some of our people back and we gave people. It's been doing that for years. I mean, that's just to cover up a lot of the stuff. But like you said, theory. You know, it's theory. It's what the imaginating mind would bring you to.
It's perception of everybody's mind. We only have a few minutes left. It's going by fast.
Yeah, it's too fast.
We're just touching upon some of the different subjects about the UFO phenomena. But before we go off, I want to thank the crew.
Thank you very much,
Thomas,
everybody.
thank you. Michael.
Thank you.
And then we have Brian, David, Joan. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your help, guys.
You know, without this, it's not possible.
Right. Well, it was a lot of fun, though, I'll tell you, just being able to talk to the audience and to the home viewers, you know, just to see if, you know, to get some calls and see their feedback on things.
Well, we didn't touch upon the crop circles.
Well, next
Okay.
time.
We, even Antonio Huneas, that was
Right.
on the show one time, about his chupacabra, you know, the
chupacabra?
Cabra, yeah,
Right,
that's it.
right.
Same thing,
Yeah, same thing. Just with 2 tequilas.
something like that. But
Right,
he's been on the
right.
show. You know, different beliefs, different countries. Bermuda Triangle's another big subject about that.
Peru, too. Peru, the Peruvians say they walk amongst them, the aliens.
So,
So, you know, there's so many topics that we could definitely, you know what, the next show will be better.
Next show, yes. That
We got to
sounds like
do
a
another
plan.
show for sure. Definitely. I think we can touch with a lot of people.
And also, people, if you've seen something, and especially Staten Island, because they call me.
Yeah.
I saw this. I was on the highway. I was down near the beach. One of the shows, I had somebody near captain's quarters.
Oh, okay.
He had the video going.
Nice.
And he saw that ship was like with the lights, and he just kept it, and he ruined his vacation because it was over the vacation.
Right.
But he thought that was really important. And also the orbs, somebody had called up one time. He said orbs were coming out of my head.
Yes, you told me about
But,
that.
I mean, what kind
Right.
of credibility? What, you take the evidence.
I'd have to sit down with him and see that for myself. Being a paranormal investigator, I would definitely have to look into that
I
one.
saw it, and it was on the show. We
That's
played it on the
amazing.
show. So orbs, spiritual, a lot of this stuff is spiritual.
Yeah, I would say pretty much everything is spiritual to a point. It all connects to each other,
Oh, yeah.
without a doubt. It really does.
So, again, we touched upon a few things. Any closing comments, especially now you with your paranormal,
Right.
investigations. I
Right.
mean, investigation is the way to do
Right,
things.
right.
And then if you can get the proof, that's it.
Right, right. They say the proof is in the pudding.
Or on the photo.
Right.
Untouched. So, we're getting more signals.
Signals?
The signals. The signals from the alien over there.
The alien in the back.
There we go.
But the name of my group is Paranormal Dreams, and we do a lot of investigations all over the country, and we do a lot in Staten Island. So if you're ever looking to talk, please feel more than happy to go to my Facebook page, David DeLise, and just type me in, and I'll be more than happy to discuss it with you. Thanks a lot.
And I want to thank Thomas because it's God's Way. He does his series
Right.
every month. Sometimes guests can't make it. If they're
Right.
living in New Jersey,
And not feeling good, they're sick. But we wish
of the
them
weather.
health and happiness. We hope everybody gets better very fast.
Al Delfina, thank you.
Aldefina, thank you very much, and we'll definitely catch up with you on your show for sure.
Okay, and how much time do we have, Thomas? About
About 20 minutes left?
1 minute? So we're gonna
1 minute,
call it a
okay,
wrap.
we'll just call it a wrap.
1.5
One and a
minutes.
half
Oh, I
minutes.
saw that.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so we should do a few more shows.
Definitely, I would love to, for sure. I think this went really well. I think it'll be a great time.
Okay, Herman did the different, the graphics and the music, and I thank Herman also.
Right. Thank you, Herman.
Okay, so until next time.
Till next time, thank you so much, Pat. It was a pleasure being with you and co-hosting the show with you. It was a
Okay,
great time.
we have to hold this
Yes,
because we
because
have to beam out.
I think the ship is going to come and get us, right?
We have the evidence here, and we're
This is
going to
it.
go with it.
All classified evidence going back up to see the boys. Scotty, beam me up.
Okay, Scotty or whoever.